Yeah, hi, I know you're expecting me. That's what I'm afraid of. What's up, agents? Zero here. Welcome back to some more Mega Skyblock 3. This is episode 4. If you remember, last time we set up this a house underneath the island. I actually did a little bit of work up top. Obviously, I was doing some work gathering a few materials, but I actually ended up changing the way this actually looks on the outside. I actually like the way this looks. This episode, I have a couple islands that I actually am intending to try to get to in this episode, but before I really get started with that, I want to mention a couple things. First and foremost, something that I forgot to mention last episode, and this is something that Gaming Cyclone actually pointed out. So, as I've mentioned in a few of my other videos, he's been making resource packs. If you remember when I did the 2-in-1 Classic Games video, I showcased the resource pack he made for that map. Well, before last episode of this series happened, he actually made a resource pack for this series, for this map. I just forgot to showcase it, so this is actually what it looks like up at the top. That's literally all that it really is to change the name. And the second thing that I want to mention before we go ahead and get started, I know some of you probably honestly won't care about this, but I want to say this anyway. I want to apologize that I did not get any videos up over the past 2 days. As you guys know, I record the day prior to upload, so for me it was Saturday and Sunday I didn't get anything done, so it's obviously Sunday and Monday that nothing went up. So Saturday we were out Christmas shopping. I don't think I need any further explanation than that. And then Sunday we actually went over to Six Flags for holiday in the park, which, number one, I was kept out of the loop for this. I did not realize this was the plan all along. And number two, holiday in the park is actually something that not all Six Flags parks do, depending on where you live. It's probably too cold for Six Flags to even set that up. And I was actually planning on making a vlog. I actually made a vlog of me being there, but for whatever reason my phone did not end up saving it. I don't understand why they even happen. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started with the projects of which I want to get done today. And now that I'm looking at, there's actually, I want to get over to that island over in that direction, but it looks like we've got a few problems over on that island. So we've got an Enderman, which obviously for obvious reasons, that came out weird. I don't want to go over there because of him, and there's also a creeper over there. I definitely don't want to have to deal with that. And oh great, a creeper literally just spawned over there. That's just great. Okay, so it looks like no matter where I go, there's going to be a creeper problem. Do I have a... Yes, I do. So this is going to be risky to do, but for this episode, I kind of don't have too much of a choice. I want to go over to that island, and I want to go over to that island for one reason and one reason alone, and that's because actually before I go ahead and do that, number one, I want to sort out my hotbar, because I kind of like to have things in a particular order. And number two, I actually am going to want to... Which just is this one? Yes, it is. I obviously want to be able to light these islands up so that mobs will not be able to spawn there anymore. That's kind of like the whole point of this. So, yeah, I am kind of curious how you guys' weekends have been, how the holiday season has been so far for you guys. Go ahead and let me know down in the comments. I did kind of explain what I was doing this past weekend, so don't really think I have anything further to say about that. Again, I apologize that because of what happened this past weekend, I wasn't able to get any form of videos done, but you know what? Christmas shopping is kind of important this time of year, and the whole holiday in the park at Six Flags I was 100% not expecting to have to do, but you know what, it was fun while it was there. So yeah, I am kind of curious as to what you guys have been doing. I'm also kind of curious as to like if there's anything in particular that you guys have on your Christmas list, because that's something I really haven't discussed at all with you guys. Like if there's anything in particular you guys are hoping to get for Christmas. I'm actually kind of curious about that. Yeah, I know, you see me. I realize this. Alright, so if I go ahead and place that there, and I want to go ahead and open up this path off to this side a little bit. This is going to be... Yeah, hi, I know you're expecting me. That's what I'm afraid of. I am kind of curious, like, what's all on you guys' lists for Christmas this year? Just to kind of, ask you guys a simple question. Can I reach you? No. Alright, I actually want you to come a little bit closer so I can hopefully be able to reach you with my sword, because that's something that would definitely help me out a little bit. Okay, that caught me off guard. I am really glad he did not explode. So one thing that I do technically have on my Christmas list for this year, I highly doubt I'm going to end up getting it, but it is something that I kind of want to be able to get. Hi, Creeper. There we go. That's actually good. That's not too bad. I'll take that. Alright, so one thing that's technically on my Christmas list this year, which I don't know if I'm going to be able to get, but something I kind of want to get is, and this is something I have mentioned maybe once or twice before, mainly in like a couple of my chatting videos. Okay, there's one book that I've been wanting to get. There's a handheld Sega Genesis system that I'm really wanting to get. The Sega Genesis system is an early days console back in, I want to say like very late 1980s, early 1990s. It was a 16-bit console, and a developer called At Games has developed some classic revamps of that early console. They've done a few. I think they've done the Atari as well. I'm not 100% sure. Also, Atari might have possibly just come out with them themselves. But yeah, that is one thing I kind of want to get. Unfortunately, it's like $50, so it's kind of like out of the price range for quite a few people, especially with the way we were doing Christmas shopping this year. We were kind of on a little bit of a budget. Okay, so what I'm actually going to do really quick before I do anything else is I'm going to go into this, because this is actually where I'm going to end up putting all these books. That's where I want to put them. I'm going to put that there for safekeeping for right now. So yeah, the whole Sega Genesis thing, they have a handled system, and they actually have two separate plug into the TV system. I guess it's technically called plug and play. One of which is just a generic console. One of which is a bit of a flashback to the actual original 16-bit Sega system that they came out with. The main reason why I'm looking into the handheld rather than the plug and play system is strictly because it has an SD card, which I know doesn't sound like too big of a deal to some of you guys, but I want to be able to play whatever game I want. It does come with like a whole bunch of games. It comes with like 85 or so games, something along those lines. And let's see, is there anything, any monsters here? It doesn't look like it. Good. Alright, I do see some rotten flesh on the ground. Okay, so I do want to go ahead and light this place up for obvious reasons. So if I go ahead and place some torches down around like that, there we go. So what's all in this chest? We've got ourselves some extra wood. Okay, I will take it. Some arrows. We've got some flint, and we have ourselves a slightly damaged bow. That's actually, I will gladly accept that as the name of it. Not that I have much of a choice. Hold on, is this? Yeah, that's just oak wood. I was kind of wondering if it was like anything special, but apparently not. Alright, so let's go ahead and pick up this book, and yes, I did get it. That is obviously what I want to be able to do, is actually make sure I get these books. Alright. So yeah, so back to the whole Sega Genesis thing. So the classic consoles that you just plug into the TV, they do actually have a cartridge port for you to be able to play any cartridge that you have on hand, which is actually kind of cool. However, I have read online, and it also says directly on the packaging as well, that there are some limited compatibility issues that are known with the system. So that is a bit of a downside. And if I have the handheld system, as I mentioned, it has an SD card slot, so I can play whatever game I want, whenever I want. Plus, I am probably going to want to go places with it, because my family does do that every so often. Give me something to do in the car. We haven't done that in a while, though. Alright, so now I've kind of explained that, I am kind of curious about these two books, because I am curious. So we've got ourselves entry 1 shift. So let's see what this says. Entry 1 of 2. So it says on the left page, it doesn't say any days, but it does say day 2 on the other one, now the room is. I just got signed to a huge project development matter called End Substance. The name hopefully is being worked on. As a student, I can't judge, so the project starts tomorrow, so night. Just getting to the workplace, I'm still waking up. Just got a lot of paperwork done. I'm going to my new workspace. It looks so awesome in here, but work has to be done, so I'll research and get supplies tonight. Okay, so this is actually something that Gaming Cyclone himself hinted at for this particular version of the map, is that there actually is a legitimate story going on with this particular version of the map. Now, from what I understand, actually I'm not going to say that because I don't want to spoil anything, so I'm going to go do that. Okay, so Operation Echo. Project info. Goal, make the first AI that controls and teaches puzzles. Will be used for helping us find a way to control and remake this end substance. If Echo fails, it will be scrapped or reused. Extra note from Dr. whoever. This will not fail. Not like my test 1A. My brother, he was a good man. Okay, so apparently there was a failed project going on, which I was not aware about. Okay, so that's actually kind of interesting to kind of find out. This is actually a little bit of an interesting story. Actually, I probably shouldn't even say a little bit. It actually is a legitimate, interesting story. I'm going to go ahead and give it that. Alright, so we've got ourselves some flint, string, rotten flesh. You know, I will go ahead and hang on to the bow. I don't think I'm going to need it right now, but I'll hang on to it at least. Do I need any more slabs? I probably do. You know, I'm going to go ahead and grab an extra set of slabs, because since we've got maybe 5-10 minutes, depending on if I get distracted, which usually does happen, I am curious about this island. I'm not mistaken, I think I know what this island is. This has not been in any previous season, but knowing what's in this version of the map, I have a pretty good indication of what's on this island, considering what I've seen, not from screenshots of this map, but from what I've seen off in the distance. I'm fairly certain I know what this island actually is. I could be 100% wrong, but I have a pretty good feeling as to what this island actually is, because there's a chest and there's a block with a button on it. I will go ahead and say what I think this is, and then we'll find out if this is in fact what it is. So, Gaming Cyclone said one of the new features of this map is that you can trade in your experience for some certain things. He didn't actually say what it was. Okay, so I am actually right. It's press to go to the XP market. So let's see what's in this. We got ourselves some bone meal. We'll take that. I don't think I'm gonna need it anytime soon. Pumpkin pie. Okay, that's actually something that stacks. I didn't even realize that. And let's see. We've got ourselves more info. What does this book say? Let's look away from the chest so we don't open. This is the new island that will teleport you to the new XP market. You might ask, what is a XP market? Well, it's a new way to purchase items, materials with XP that you gain. Yeah, it's awesome. Just press the button and check it out. TGC. Okay, so we actually get to use the XP market. That's actually what I thought it was going to be. Just didn't work out the way I thought it was going to be. I thought this was just going to be the entire island, that the entire island was going to be the XP market, but you know what? I suppose this works. I mean, it would be kind of hard to put an entire XP market into one island like this. I am actually kind of curious on what is in here. And by the sounds of things, I do not like what's going on around me. Alright. Alright, so let's see. So 10 XP for 16 arrows. There are a lot of mob noises. 5 XP for an iron ingot. 2 XP for 1 bread. 20 XP for a mob spawner. That's actually not too bad. Iron actually wouldn't be too bad to have, all things considered. I mean, I actually have one particular block of which I want to make that requires iron. The only problem is it also requires redstone, which I don't have as of right now. Okay, so this is my very first time using this new market system. There will be more options in the next update. Please send feedback on the new market system, please, and thanks. So this is to go back to Mega Skyblock, obviously. I mean, for this being the first time that you implemented in this, I'd say that you did a fairly good job filling this up. I will say that obviously it does kind of need more items in the system. That's kind of fairly obvious, but for the first one, that actually makes a lot of sense. I actually do want to go ahead and get, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get 2. Obviously, as I mentioned, I still need redstone in order to make what I want to make, but other than that, that's actually not too bad. I like that a lot. So how long it's going to take for me to get some other materials I don't know. If I remember correctly, there is one island in particular that I remember from previous seasons that does have redstone on. I won't spoil what island it is for those of you who might be completely new. Hold on a moment. Is that what I think it is off in the distance? Hold on, if I go ahead and turn my camera off to the side, I can see it a lot better off the right side of the screen. That is 100% redstone blocks over there. Okay, that is actually not the island that I was thinking of that had the redstone. Actually, the island that I was thinking of is actually over there on the left side of the screen. For whatever reason, it seems to fade away whenever I look directly at it. If I go ahead and turn this way, there is actually a note block island all the way over there. And if I remember from previous seasons, there are, in fact, pieces of redstone dust on top of those note blocks. And that's actually where I was initially thinking that we would be able to get redstone. But after seeing that island over there with the redstone blocks, On one hand, I'm kind of glad that he did that. On the other hand, I wasn't actually expecting that. That is actually kind of cool. Alright, I actually am technically at the 20-minute mark, but I think I can probably get away with at least going for one additional island this episode. I am curious about what's on this island. I know this island from the previous 2 seasons, but he has made some drastic changes to this island in the most recent update, so it's not the same as it used to be. And I am kind of curious as to what all this island actually has to begin with. So we're going to find that out right now. And I do obviously need to be careful. You get hit with hot air, you start to feel warm. Okay, so that is actually something I did not realize he would actually end up doing, is actually setting up a system where it actually says something. So, okay, so I'm definitely seeing some interesting stuff going on. There are some blocks in the ground. There's a sword up on the inside the obsidian. What's all inside this? We've got ourselves some cobwebs. Okay, we've got ourselves a lava bucket, a water bucket. I'm actually going to go ahead and put these up in my inventory just so I don't accidentally put it down, because that would be bad. We've got entry 2, test 1A. So I am curious as to what is actually on this book. And you know what? I'm actually not going to go ahead and... Okay, so apparently he did not set it up so that it only does it once. It does it every single time you come in here. That's actually not the reason why I came back, but I do want to pick up this sword if I can. There we go. And there's actually a block of... what is this? This is a magma block, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, that is technically what it's called, but I don't think I'm gonna end up needing. So I actually got a pretty decent sword off of this, so that's actually not too bad. I'm gonna hang on to this. I don't think I'm going to end up needing it anytime soon. I mean, obviously, if I run into some sort of monster trying to get onto one of the islands, it's fairly obvious I was going to need it. I got really lucky with that creeper earlier. I got really lucky with that creeper. He didn't blow up. He made the noise, but he didn't blow up. But you know what? I think this is actually a good place to go ahead and end off the video. I know I'm technically going off on a cliffhanger with this book, but I'm kind of at the time limit that I actually normally like to go. I'm a little bit over, but not by a whole heck of a lot. So I'm going to leave you guys on a cliffhanger for this book. In fact, I'm going to even leave myself on a cliffhanger for this book. I'm going to be looking at this book at the start of next episode, but that is obviously, as I mentioned, where I'm going to end off this video. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed. If you did, make sure that like button. One more than make sure that subscribe button for future content. Also, you can follow me on Twitter at AgentCPU0 to stay updated. This has been Zero Studios. Thank you guys for watching, and with that, I will see you guys later.